Conan Exiles have been trying to pull off different types of events for the past couple of years in their game, ranging from big boss battles, fighting against sorcerers, and putting a stop to big hordes of eldritch bugs. This latest chapter update introduces a brand new event to us, the Sacred Hunt. An event that ended quite quickly despite being only out for 2 weeks, to be reintroduced again later in another 2 weeks' time on May 1st until May 10th. Yes, you heard that right. To many, this is a very bizarre choice, especially with this event being the main content of Chapter 4, and for it to come out in another 2 weeks' time is a very weird choice. I can only think that perhaps something may change with it being between now and then, but nothing has been said on it, and Funcom are usually pretty good at communicating when it comes to new content and items coming to the game. Or perhaps there's some bugs or major ironing out to do that we are not aware of. If not for those two reasons, then it's a rather bizarre choice. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just one of those weird decisions though. Funcom have been experimenting with events for a while now. Their world events over the past seasons seem to go through periods of working and not working for the longest time with lack of reason. And we keep seeing more and more of them. As of now, there are 7 events: the Sacred Hunt, Sacrifice Interrupted, Grave Matters, Portal to Yuggoth, Blowback, Witch Hunts, Snake Cult Caravan, and maybe 8 if you count the Almaria Castle offense event and the brand new Sipta Fortresses. There is quite a lot of brand new event style content come to Conan Exiles in the past couple of years. I think this is how they want to keep the game fresh going forward, rotating in and out different events and so on. I just wish they'd have more of a substantial system first before trying to implement a schedule, as taking away the Sacred Hunt event a couple weeks in is a very strange choice. This event was presented to be the main meat and vegetables of the chapter. Now that is getting taken away for an unknown reason. So it seems a bit pointless to care in the first place. If it was presented as something that was around for a limited time from the get-go, people would have been a lot more invested in it and grinding it more. Knocking it out now kind of feels like it's blown a hole in the sails of the Chapter 4 ship. I, for one, have had little time to fully enjoy the update with so many other game updates coming out, so I've barely been able to get invested into the event itself in a proper Let's Play, and now it's already gone. I suppose at least we have a schedule for when it next comes around on May 1st and know what to expect. I don't mind events in Conan Exiles, but I do feel like they need some proper framework in there first to make these exciting and interesting to go after. The items given in them need to be worthwhile or extremely cool. Like for the Sacred Hunt, I feel like they did a good job with the new cape being one of the best items, but their defo could have been more to expand on. And why not mix it up with the different events changing different things around the world some more, and make it more consistent? They could tell story and such. I know Conan likes to implement lore and storytelling into a lot of their events. Only problem with this is it does make events a lot less recyclable, as certain events make certain lore implications around the world and changes, such as Mechcamosa's Spire event. We had Conan smashing up the place and Mechcamosa's head got put in a basket. It wouldn't make sense to keep bringing that back. Same with the prison cards, because that was for a reason. Unless they were to attach a different development or reason why they would want to keep collecting Sorcerer's Skulls, and you could tie this into Witch Hunt events as well, all of that stuff gets dated because of its lore implications. If they want to rotate in and out events, I feel like they need to be a lot more detached. Like this new Sacred Hunt event will work as a detached event. They just need to figure out what they're doing with it and get the scheduling correct. For this, I've had a few ideas of what could be classed as like detachable events, if that's what kind of they want to go with, because I'm noticing a theme right here. It's just being executed in a very weird fashion, because I think they want to respect the lore of the game and kind of make it like an event in the world, like a natural thing, not have something like Ark with an Easter event and it pops up and everything changes colors and stuff like that. I think they still want it to make sense to the Conan universe, but there are ways you can go about this, make them events temporary and change them up a little bit each and every time, if that's the kind of thing they want to go for. So with that said, here's some ideas that I thought of that could work with this kind of format. Artifact Hunters. A group of relic hunters come to Setmeru on a monthly underground black market trade-off. You find them in a secret area in the entrance of the wine cellar dungeon. They want to hire you to find some relics for them around the world. For those, they will give you a special token, and you can use these tokens to buy items in their trader, like relic hunter themed weapons, tools, armor, or maybe even a recipe for a building set. And this event would happen once a chapter. You would find out about this event because the suspicious flyers are placed around towns all around the exiled lands, which will prompt you to explore, enter the wine cellar and find that secret trading area, and maybe do some trades when they're around for a week, each chapter or something like that. They could rotate items and sell different things. It could be an interesting way to do something and keep things fresh. I can imagine it would be awesome for a playthrough as well, knowing me, because the type of playthroughs I like to do is I like to bash it all out in one go and then have a good time, although I do respect people who have different playstyles as well. So having different things to be excited about with my playthrough now and again throughout the seasons and ages of a chapter would be a really cool thing to look forward to. So I could be like, on week 2 of chapter 1 of the age of blah blah, I get to go and see if I can find those black market traders to maybe pinch myself some nice relic hunter goods that I can only ever get there once a chapter. My next idea would be Golem Workshop. Make bloodstones more useful again. The Master Golem Carver goes out on an expedition, leaving Mechamus' Spire with a Kitai and Golem escort. You find his caravan and tent set up in a few different spots depending on the time cycle. So you could change his position for different chapters of different ages. He goes out to gather important materials for his golem crafting. Say for this event, you find his caravan at the base of the volcano, and he is gathering some obsidian for this golem tech he's researching. You can have some of his blueprints for the tech he knows if you buy it for Bloodstone out there. Perhaps you could even introduce some of his escorts to have trading menus like we had for the previous Kitai event, where they sold us bearer packs and a selection of legendary items, but make it so it's a smaller pool depending on his location. So say he's in the volcano, they could trade you like an Axe of the Lion, or if he's located at the Silver Mine, they could trade you a Warhammer of the Legion, and so on. It would be smaller pools, and that way it's making the world a lot more interactive, because you're seeing some of the NPCs actually go out and do stuff that they would usually do. And since the Golem Workshop man wouldn't just stand there like a lemon, you could actually see him actively going out and researching and getting materials to further his research on golems and craft more things. So you could change this up quite a bit each time, or have it like a 4-chain thing. So maybe he's making a silver golem, maybe he's making an obsidian golem, or adding some extra parts like weapons and so to them that you research in this special event. This is why I think this would be cool, and you could reuse it as an event many times, and people would still enjoy it because you'd be able to buy things like bearer packs from the Kitai. You'd be making use of the Kitai people and all of that stuff that kind of just sitting here right now doing nothing, and building upon that kind of story as well you can do. But I think this would be a good way to put them back into use again and make the world feel more alive. This next event idea ties in with some of the ideas I've had, which I wish Conan would implement and make religion more useful and something more interactive in the world. It presents a big part of the world itself, but never feels like it's actually that big once you get to know what usefulness it has within the world. So I really enjoyed the recent chapter where we got to learn a bit more about Mechmosa and things started happening there. And we got to see a lot more out of that and have some actual usefulness from a religious teacher. How about we do that with more religious teachers? So this event is called Call of the Twin Serpents. Ykira, the priestess of Decado, summons you to the Black Garden. Her followers help her harvest Black Lotus to grind down into powder for some rituals. She's traveling around to spread the word of Decado to introduce more followers into the Decado religion. If you help with some of the supplies for her travels, or help spread the word, she may reward you. One of the rewards could be a black cat with a Decado skull hat on it, or some new raunchy Decado armor, whatever the devs like. I think it would be cool to mobilize some of the religions around the place you find, and give them more usage, or perhaps a bit more story. That way you can build off a bit more about them and make it more interesting for the player to pick religions and follow them, or even just interact with events around the world. So yeah, that's just some of my ideas that I thought off the bat just for a little while while writing the script of this video, on what they could do if they wanted to carry on with the whole event system. They definitely need to make them make more sense, make the scheduling a bit better, and make sure next time that they make it a lot clearer to people these events are temporary and only last for a bit of time. That way it's not like a surprise when it suddenly goes missing and you're kind of like, why is it going missing now, you know? So the Sacred Hunt event was a bit like, why are they taking it out 2 weeks in? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me at all, and I kind of wish they kind of explained it a bit more, their reasoning why they're doing this. But it is what it is now, and it's a little late for that now. Unless they do explain it, then that would be a lot appreciated as well. But yeah, if they're going forward with a lot more events, I hope they take some of these ideas or make sure that they are recyclable and you can do things with them, as well as making the world still intended and useful and making it feel more alive, because I know that was a massive point they made in previous videos and stuff like that, that they wanted to make this world feel more alive. So I think this would be a great way to do it, to give use to what you already have here and make it makes sense, you know what I mean? So the things I've mentioned today would make a bit more sense, because if you are part of a religious group, you are going to try and spread the word and get people to join your religion, right? And then with the golem crafter, he's not just going to sit in one spot all day, he's going to go and get bits and farm bits of metal to make his golems, isn't he? He's not just going to sit there, right? So I was thinking of those ideas you could make into mini events that wouldn't take a lot of time or effort, that could be pretty cost effective, that you could use. But either way, let me know some of your event ideas in the comments down below. I would love to hear them, and let me know what you think about this current situation with the Sacred Hunt event only being taken away 2 weeks in to the brand new Chapter 4 season. Let me know what you think and feel, and yeah, I look forward to reading your comments. But either way, thank you for watching, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!